¿Cuántas sílabas en mariquita? A ver. Mariquita. Hello y'all, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been quite a while. If you're new here, my name is Yaritza and I decided to vlog today, a day in my life as an instructional coach. Now that I've really gotten in the groove of things. I am currently sick, so I apologize if my voice sounds funny. I'm still pretty congested. But yeah, I'm popping in today to just give y'all an update on this wonderful position and what I've been doing / why I haven't been vlogging. So I'll start off with talking about what my day typically looks like. I haven't vlogged since like August. I don't know what all I told y'all, but I do have 5 schools that I rotate through on a weekly basis. And the really nice thing is that I go to these schools depending on the need of the school, the teachers that are there. So my schedule is very flexible. I get to pick what schools I'm going to, how many times a week, and all of those details since I am the ones working with the teachers. So typically in my week, I do have one school that I frequent the most. And this school I visit every morning, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday mornings. And then another way that I've chunked up my schedule is our start time is 7:30. So I'll be out of school from 7:30 to 11. And then I'll take my lunch break, my beautiful 1-hour lunch break. That's 11 to noon. And then I'll give myself half an hour to drive to my next school. So typically by 12:30, I'm at my next school, and then that'll be the rest of the chunk of my day, 12:30 to 4:30. But yeah, that school that I go to 3 times a week is the school that I frequent the most. Then the second school that I frequent the most, I go to on Monday and Wednesday afternoons. And then I have 3 schools that I just visit once a week. On Tuesday afternoons, I visit the Montessori school. And then on Thursdays is probably my funkiest day. I go to one of my schools in the morning chunk. And then I've been working with one new teacher at one of the schools, so I just go visit her for her planning time for an hour. And then I'll usually just go to the Montessori. I had been doing that just because there's an actual space for me to work at the teacher's lounge at the Montessori school, and they're right down the street from each other. So I was taking Thursday afternoons, like basically from 2 to 4:30, just that last chunk of my day to catch up on paperwork. I'm going to be going to our central office, which is also pretty close to that school I visit once a week on Thursdays, and I'll be catching up on curriculum writing. And then we don't visit any schools on Fridays. On Fridays, all of our coaching team meets at our office space, and we usually have some type of professional development or several little trainings planned up until lunchtime. So yeah, just that first chunk of our day up until 11 or noon we'll be meeting, and then the rest of the day we have to complete whatever paperwork to set up our schedule for the next week and all of that. And we are officially at 20 coaches, including myself. We're 20 coaches in total, which is pretty awesome. And then we have 3 managers. So each coach is assigned to one of the 3 managers. And we have our senior manager, and then we have our director. And all of them are just phenomenal ladies. They're phenomenal leaders. And the biggest thing for me is just how approachable all of them are. Sometimes I feel like as a coach, you're supposed to know everything. You're supposed to have answers to everything. But it's just not the case, and I'm still learning, and it's really awesome to be learning from my other teammates and from my managers. So the best thing is just never ever feeling hesitant to ask for help. And just all of my teammates are incredibly kind incredibly humble. We're all bringing just different types of experience to the table. And no matter how long or how much experience somebody has, like everybody just remains very humble and very kind and very willing to help each other. Overall, I would say I work closely with about 7 teachers. So I'll just talk a little bit about today, for example. At this school, I have been leading the PLCs. So they have PLCs on Wednesday, and the pre-K team has their PLC time first thing in the morning, so 7:30 to 8:30. And so today, for example, we talked about the importance of dramatic play in the unit that we're on. The theme that we're on right now is about community helpers, and our department purchased a ton of materials from different vendors like Lakeshore, Learning Resources, and I can't remember the names of the other vendors, but just a ton of resources that the teachers can use. Teachers received, I would say, maybe about 6 different costumes, community helper costumes, and I know that one of them is a doctor costume. So community helpers is definitely one of my favorite themes, and just because you can do so much, especially in transforming your dramatic play. And it's really important for kids to do that because that's really where they develop a lot of social skills and they can build their oral language. So today, for example, at the PLC, we talked about that. And then I did print out some things for them so they can actually use their resources. So I did not take a picture, but I did help one teacher set up her dramatic play area. I mean, it'd been just a kitchen for the longest. And I know how it is just switching out your centers. But in a lot of the classrooms, like it's just been a kitchen this whole time. So I'm trying to make sure that all the teachers that I'm working with are actually using the materials and that we set up their dramatic play. So we made it into a little doctor's office, and then they also received, it's like a little play set of 6 different things from Learning Resources. So yeah, all of these pre-K classrooms have these materials. So that's one of my little goals right now, is to make sure that everyone has their dramatic play set up as some type of community helper. And then another thing is that I receive a lot of support from my managers. So at least once a month, my manager will come visit me at a campus, and it's like just a check-in on how things are going with all the teachers that I'm working with, what I need help with, just answer questions, and it's really helpful. And then also once a month, I get a visit from my senior manager. Today, I had a visit from my senior manager, and yesterday I had a visit from my manager. We go over just all of the documentation that we have. We have documentation that we work on throughout the year, and then we have documentation that's daily. The daily documentation is basically like a log where if we worked with a teacher or a school, we just briefly log like what we worked on with those teachers or at that school. And then in the afternoon, I think I have mentioned this teacher. This teacher has 31 students. This is a bilingual classroom. This school has been unable to hire another bilingual teacher. And this teacher, like, my hat's off to her. Like, she's been doing an amazing job. And we set up her centers. She does her center time in the afternoon, and she kind of has it split up to where she has 6 literacy centers and 6 math centers, just because her class is so large, her class size. So that's kind of what works for her. So anytime that I go to her classroom, I'm usually assisting with managing the centers, just making sure that the kids are working. And today in particular, I pulled 3 small groups, and we were talking about syllables. So I made some Spanish syllable cards, and I also have recording sheets that I made in Spanish. I already have them in English as a free download, which is this little recording sheet right here. So I have a ton of clipboards that I purchased a while ago for my own classroom. So I would use these recording sheets whenever students were working on syllables. So I kind of gave them a little makeover. Instead of writing the number of syllables, now they're gonna color how many syllables. But yeah, this is available as a free download on my Teachers Pay Teachers, and I have it in Spanish now, so I can use it with the bilingual classrooms. But anyway, so yeah, I made syllable cards. And so with that first group that I worked with, I did go ahead and model how to use the recording sheet, but I realized that it was too much. Like, they just need the syllabication aspect of it. So this is working on phonological awareness, which just requires the hearing. So for the other two groups, I adjusted and I got some little buttons. That's just a manipulative that the teacher had. So I gave everybody 4 buttons, and we just practiced listening to the syllables in the words. So if I said, it was in Spanish, but if I said apple, I would model how to move the counters for each syllable that I heard. So we just had a ton of practice with that. And usually at about 3 o'clock is when I will head out of the classrooms and find a space for me to work for the rest of my work day. And this school is one of the schools that I actually found a space to work in. It's a little conference room, so that's always available for me. So that's really nice, like to actually have a space to work at, because I do have 2 schools where I don't have anywhere to work at. But yeah, that's really typically what my day looks like. These past months, they've just been like the most relaxed I've ever been. Like, I've just been going to work and coming home. And so another awesome thing about this job is just that the documentation is very manageable, and I never bring work home unless I want to print something out for a teacher. If I know that they're missing some type of center, or it's just something that they're missing, and I print it out here. I'm still in disbelief that I have this position, and just the timing of it has been amazing, because I think it definitely shows in my video now that I'm pregnant. So I'm at 28 weeks right now, so I just started my 3rd trimester, and I'm so relieved that I'm just not a classroom teacher, because I cannot imagine teaching and being pregnant. And if you were a teacher or are a teacher and taught while you were pregnant, like, oh my gosh, how did you do it? Because yeah, the exhaustion is real. So that's part of why, like, I've just been so relaxed, and I just come home and I usually like just lay on the couch, wait for my husband to come home, and then we figure out dinner. Unfortunately, I stopped going to the YMCA. I stopped exercising. Like, I don't know what happened to me, but probably since April or May, like I stopped going to the Y, and I still have been paying for my membership. I had not gone to work out until December, so I'm trying to get back in the groove of it. And I should have gone today. I started going back Monday and Wednesday, and I just take my gym bag with me just so I can go straight there after work, but I just did not take my stuff today. So maybe when Alex gets home, we'll go on a walk. I have had a very easy pregnancy so far, like literally up until the 27th week. I would say it's been easy peasy. I've been one of those lucky ones that has had 0 nausea. Like, I didn't have any nausea and any vomiting, thank God. I've just had very, very minor symptoms. But yeah, I just hit my 28th week. It'll actually be 29 weeks tomorrow. And now my belly is starting to feel heavy. And it's like I'm experiencing discomfort when I'm walking. So I'll probably look into a belly band soon to help with that, because it has not been it has not felt great to walk lately, and I never thought it'd be so exhausting to walk. And I don't know, it just cracks me up how out of breath I'll be sometimes. But yeah, I've been loving just being pregnant this season. We are gonna have a baby boy, and the baby shower will be next month, which I'm so excited about. And we are gonna be pretty cramped in this one bedroom, but we're gonna make it work. I think that's all that I want to share. Oh, I think just one more little thing that has happened in these months. Jennifer Orr is the founder of iWords, which I have a video about iWords, and that's some teaching cards that I use to help my students learn sight words. I loved it. And so I made a video about that, and she watched it and she loved it, and she reached out to me, and I've kind of been working on some projects with her, which is pretty cool, and it's been very laid back as well. So the first little project that I worked on, she had me work on set number 4. Well, it was about 20 words, high frequency words from their next set that they're working on. So coming up with the visual, the auditory, and the kinesthetic movement for each of the words. So that was very cool to work on, and I don't know when they're going to be published. They have new orthographic mapping cards, which are super cool. Let me see where I have them. So the orthographic mapping cards, they're like the teaching cards, so you're still going to get those components. You're still going to have the visual, you're going to have the phrase, and then you're going to have the kinesthetic movement. So for the word and, salt and pepper is the movement for this. And then on the back, this is the orthographic mapping component. So you have your sound mapping and then your blending. And then the really awesome thing is that it has all of the sounds right here for you. So I personally purchased another resource that I was using for the sound mapping, but now it's like everything to one card. These are awesome. So that is on my to-do list. I want to make a new video talking about these cards specifically. Like, this is the best teaching tool that everybody needs. So the other little things is just having to write blogs for them, and there's one project in the works. All right. I think that's all of the updates that I have for y'all, but let me know in the comments if y'all have any questions, and I don't know when I'll see y'all next, but thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.